The horses like this one we love having in the stable because every time they race, they just give you 100%. Aswaat. And she certainly does that every time she races. We love her. Super preparation last time, and I think it's fair to say, well, physically, she's developed even more, and I think she's in for a really good upcoming preparation.
How old is she? 3. Yeah, she's
jump out Tuesday afternoon. Whether she needs the two, but again, even her demeanour since she's joined us, she was a very nervy, anxious mare when she first got here, but again, she's one very, very happy racehorse now.
First trial was pretty good.
Yeah. She's in good order, very happy with her.
a bit lazy.
Yeah, so she'll go to Doomben on Tuesday. Hopefully we don't get too much more rain, and then we'll get her back to the races. You know, she can race through the carnival because there'll be some nice races for her. I mean, obviously there's a lot of group races. I'm not saying she's at that level, but if she keeps winning, who knows? We'll give her a chance at one of the better races.
She was one of the trot horses when she pulled.
Anyway.
She's nice.
Good order. All right, so that's it, question was just put to me, what physical attributes do we look at in horses? Well, the most important thing for a trainer, for me, is soundness. Soundness is everything, because a horse that's sore won't run. A horse that has an ailment, a physical, clinical issue, they won't run. So the most important things are their legs, because a horse is so poorly designed. Have a look at the size of their legs. They're no bigger than ours, and yet they've got to carry up to 560 kilos, you know, full gallop. You know, the concussion of a horse even when they hit the ground is huge. So when we look at their conformation, it's really important because these knees are 2 rows of 3 carpal bones. So it's important that, and you'll see us when we look at horses, we line them up to make sure the legs are reasonably straight, because if the foreleg comes down and then the cannon bone deviates, when they hit the ground, I'm not an engineer, but the factor multiplies so many times, and that's why you'll get a lot of young horses with conformational faults suffer a lot of knee injuries, knee chips and fractured, you know, carpal bones in their knees. So the knees and the line is so important, because when they gallop, and that's why whenever a horse races in our stable, I'll have the vet in the day before or 2 days before, and we prop them up and down. Because when a horse trots, it's the one time where all their weight is on one individual leg. So we can pick up any abnormalities, any soreness, they can be carrying themselves wrong. So I would say conformation is the most important thing. Yes, you know, they have to be athletic as well. And when I say athletic, I mean, you look at horses, and if I could bring 50 horses out there and show you them all, a lot of them would look the same to you. But to us, they don't. It's like we look to the Chinese, they all think we look the same, but of course we're all different, and vice versa. And it's the same with horses. I mean, they're all different. They're all the way they move, the way they walk, the way they carry themselves. So look at little, when you finished here, go around the corner and look at little Star Tonte. She's this high. And I mean, it doesn't stop her galloping fast. You know, so when we first took her to the races, we thought she was too small to be a successful racehorse. And now she's Group 1 place and a very valuable racehorse. But generally it's conformation. Conformation and athleticism. I mean, Josh, just give her a walk for me. Like, you don't even have to be an expert horse person. Just walk her up to her back, Josh. She walks very easily. She kind of walks with a lope. She's not short, sharp. She's very, very loose. She's what I'd call a lovely athletic walker. And like she's graceful when she walks. I could get other horses out that actually looks like an F when they walk. It's kind of like them bloody Afro-American basketballs. They all walk like they grew up with a basketball because long limbs and athletic prowess. And horses are the same when we're at the sales. Boys were all down there last week looking at young horses. What one sees in one horse, another person might not see that. But generally I like, my first impression of a horse is to look at it, its size, its scope, particularly when they're young, because they can stop growing or they can grow into beautiful horses like she is. When she first came to us, you'd remember, Mike, how she was very lean. Have a look at her now. Her hind quarter has really developed in the last 6 months. She's a lot bigger and stronger than what she was. And I'm equating that to, I think, better as well. And that's why, even for me as a trainer, my staff, my riders, those first few gallops when you give them, that's an exciting time for us because as Forrest Gump said, you don't know what chocolate you're going to get till you take the wrapper off. And that's what these are like for us too. And sometimes you just don't know. Anyway, folks, good luck today if you're having a bet.
Thanks, Rob.
That filly over there I think will be winning. Sweet Margot May.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Back to the last start.
You're back to last, you get the nines?
Yeah.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
She's very, very good.
Should be short today.
She was a very expensive yearling by I'm Invincible, and she's got a bit of X factor about her.
Handles